Hello, doctor. My name is Kirthagan, metric number 278479. I support this issue, which is protecting the employment rights of gig workers as it provides long term income stability and regularity for Malaysian workers. The gig economy in Malaysia is transforming the labor landscape and promoting decent work. There's factual evidence which supports my stand. EMIR research findings in 2020 showed that close to 26% of Malaysia's workforce, equivalent to 4 billion freelancers, out of total workforce of 15.1 million work in the gig economy. In the first place, it has the potential to reduce income inequality. The gig economy is likely to provide Malaysians workers with more regular and stable incomes over the long term. As a moral standard, human dignity and well-being need to be addressed. Upholding the inherent dignity of workers and promoting their overall well-being is often considered a moral imperative. This includes providing gig workers with access to essential benefits like healthcare, social security, and protection against unfair treatment or exploitation. This can be proven according to the moral theory called human rights and social justice. The egalitarian approach will be apt for this issue. This theory illustrates that society and its institution must protect the interests of all individuals. By recognizing the employment rights of gig workers, society fulfills social contracts and ensure that workers are not unfairly exploited. On the other hand, those favoring the independent contractors classification often argue that it reflects the flexible nature of gig work and the autonomy drivers have over the schedules. They may contend that maintaining the independent contractor status allows drivers to enjoy the benefits and of flexibility, such as choosing their working hours while acknowledging that certain reforms could be made to improve their situation without fundamentally changing their classifications. The classification of ride-hailing drivers has implications not only for the drivers' working conditions and benefits but also for the broader gig economy landscape and the legal framework surrounding labor rights in Malaysia. This can be seen as utilitarianism theory as extending employment rights to gig workers could lead to greater overall happiness and well-being. Well, I support the new legislation being implemented by the Ministry of Human Resources because it will enable the government policy which mandates that all independent contractors, including gig workers, pay into self-employed Social Security Scheme (SKSPS) to be quickly put into effect. This can be viewed as following the ethics and rights principle rule-based rules. That's all from me. Thank you so much.
Good morning to doctor and all my friends. My name is Peter, matching number 279090. So today I will present about the moral judgment for me to the issue which is employment right of gig workers. Firstly, I believe that gig workers' job rights are essential because they will have an impact on their quality of life and how much income they make. So for the moral standard of the issue, I support the gig workers to receive the legal protection such as minimum wage and health insurance. One of the factual information and moral value that support my decision on the issue is the nature of gig work nowadays. So the disadvantage of gig work such as its lack of employment benefits, underpayment and low job stability must be understood. Numerous gig workers experience financial instability and are at risk of being exploited according to study. The gig economy also had an impact on the economy. According to Huang, the gig economy can lower employment rate across the global and demand gig workers to be given legal protection such as minimum wage. He also stated that a 21.8% rise in the number of country citizens actively working online at the platform is correlated with a 1% increase in the country unemployment. So in recent years, the gig economy has expanded sustainability with platforms like Uber gaining popularity. While this platform offers efficiency and convenience, questions have been raised regarding how they may affect pay and working conditions for employees as well as if they have a negative impact on more traditional job sectors. So regarding the moral principle and theories that guide my choice, the first moral principle is justice and fairness, which are important moral factors Thus, they must be taken into consideration. Basic job rights, including the entitlement to a minimum wage, health insurance, and paid time off, are frequently inaccessible to gig workers. No matter their employment situation, all employees must be treated properly and have access to basic rights in order to uphold justice and fairness. So the second is social responsibility, and it is also important to the issue. It is the duty of society as a whole to advance the welfare of all its members. By recognizing their contribution to the economy and safeguarding their general well-being, granting job right to gig workers is consistent with the tenet of social responsibility. This can guarantee a more inclusive society and help prevent socio-economic inequality. Additionally, utilitarianism, a consequently moral theory which promotes taking behaviors that will maximize one's general happiness or well-being. So, providing legal rights for gig workers can have a positive impact by lowering economic disparity, enhancing worker happiness and stability, and fostering social cohesion. So, in conclusion, the moral reasoning behind granting gig worker employment right is based on extensive analysis of factual data and moral principles. In my opinion, business, government, and individuals should be concerned about the issue of gig workers and offer them the legal working condition. We may work toward a more equitable society that promote the concept of justice, fairness, human dignity, and social responsibility by acknowledging the difficult encountered by gig workers and fighting for their rights. That's all for me. Thank you.
Good day to Dr. Chong. My name is Cheryl Ong Hui matrix number 278816. I'm here to present about my moral judgment of issue 2. After several research I did for the report, I do support this issue which is about gig workers who should be given the same legal protections such as minimum wages, social security, and protection against unfair dismissal as well as worker rights that are generally enjoyed only by individuals engaged as employees. This is because of fairness and equity. Advocates argue that gig workers, despite being classified as independent contractors, often face similar vulnerabilities and risks as traditional employees. They believe that extending legal protections ensures fair and equal treatment for all workers, regardless of their employment classification. Besides, it is also because of the social security net, the need to provide gig workers with access to social security benefits such as healthcare, retirement plans, and employment insurance. They argue that these protections can help reduce financial burdens during time of economic instability or unexpected events. I agree on this issue due to the reason for exploitation prevention. Gig workers may be susceptible to exploitation due to the power imbalance between them and gig platforms. They claim that legal protections such as minimum salaries and protection from unfair termination can help to avoid improper use and ensure good working conditions. Yes, there is factual information available specifically regarding the issue of gig workers' rights in Malaysia. First and foremost, it is about the expansion of the gig economy. In recent years, Malaysia has undergone massive growth in the gig economy, with platforms such as Grab, Foodpanda, and Easy gaining popularity. These platforms offer gig workers in a variety of business sectors, including ride e-hailing, food delivery, and freelancing services. In Malaysia, the classification of gig workers has been an issue of debate and legal disputes. While gig workers are frequently categorized as independent freelancers, some believe that they should be considered employees with legal protections. It is undeniable that the Malaysian government has taken steps to address gig worker rights and introduce certain legal protections. For example, the government launched the Gig Economy Social Protection Fund in July 2020, with the goal of providing benefits such as temporary disability and personal injury coverage to gig workers. According to Malaysia KPMG Global, in Malaysia, talks and debates about the legal status and rights of gig workers are continuing. That's all for my presentation. Thank you for listening.
Hello madam, my name is Uma Mageswari, anak perempuan Ternau Karsu, and my metric number is 280739. Now I will be presenting my moral judgment based on the third issue, which is how does the Malaysian Landmark Amendment Bill to make gig workers formal employees impact company stakeholders. The gig economy has risen drastically in popularity over the last half decades and is now a very common way for individuals to earn a second stream of income. The result of a gig economy produces cheaper, more efficient, and flexible services that can offer consumers a unique and fast alternative to regular and standardized a business. Therefore, employment rights for the gig workers need to be protected. But in reality, gig workers in some countries are still facing some difficulties in obtaining their rights. For example, formal employees have benefits including insurance and job security with contract employment. Meanwhile, gig workers generally do not have these same rights. Even in the gig economic, employees still have the same rights and advantages that freelancers normally do without. This includes sick days, retirement benefits, and vacation. Based on the third issue, which is the federal government of Malaysia is proposing an amendment bill to force gig-based tech companies to provide workers with rights and privileges similar to the formal employees. It also widens the scope of who constitutes an employer, including those who controls or direct the manner of work or hours of work. Legislation on gig workers requires a true understanding of employment classifications, platforms' business models, and preferences. This comes amid public and opposition pressure for fairer compensation for informal workers. The Employment Act amendment aims to protect the interests and welfare of gig workers. Next, my moral judgment based on principles. That moral principle that I discover from this issue is utilitarianism. Utilitarianism is one of the ethical theories that can be used in employment rights of gig workers. According to the principles of utilitarianism, the right ethical action is one of that results in the greatest amount of happiness for the greatest number of people. In this circumstance, the ethical thing for the employer to do would be take action to address the discrimination and harassment to have an environment that is safe and respectful for the gig workers. It is in the best interest for both the company and the employee for this to occur, as it will guarantee that the employee is treated properly and is protected from being mistreated. For example, the right to ask safe working place conditions and reservation to answering questions on age, religion, nationality, and medical condition. Other than that, the rights to form or participate in a union that aims to improve the wages, lifestyle, working environment, and emphasize employee rights at the workplace. That's
Hello,
all
Doctor.
from
My
me.
name is
Thank you.
Farah Aina binti Rahman, number matric 278866. For the moral judgment based on the issue that I researched, the welfare of gig workers should be taken seriously because this sector also drives economic growth in our country. The gig economy will expand Malaysia revenue, generating opportunities. Therefore, in order to face the development in the gig economy that will replace conservative jobs, then inappropriate to create a law and regulation to regulate the party that is involved in economic gigs to all parties benefit. In avenue of new economy development, ensuring the availability of career possibility and job chains founded on the gig economy must have a obvious objective. Both sides and government officials must focus on the responsibility of developing the gig economy environment, particularly in terms of rules safeguarding and security for staff. In relation to labor law protection, existing law do not protect gig economy service and treat employment issue under gig economy as contract for service. Similarly, other issue involved by the company in enforcing unfair payment schemes to gig economy workers. Without protective labor laws, gig economy workers are vulnerable to exploitation. The gig jobs among drivers of today's service sector focus on work done on a temporary basis, flexible time and free from contractual obligation or known as freelancer. Currently, gig workers are associated with jobs that involve the use of application and involved with digital platform as well as in line with the development of Industrial Revolution 4.0. Most of gig workers are from e-hailing riders, intermediaries, connecting providers, and also users of applications such as GrabFood, Foodpanda, Lalamove, Shopee, Express, and Speedy. Therefore, the gig economy is very helpful for those who are affected by income layoff and find it difficult to get a job. The government should not take this issue lightly and draft a bill in more detail to protect the welfare of gig workers so that gig workers also get the same benefits, same like others' jobs. In addition, the government should ensure that every employer always complies with the laws set to prevent exploitation and operation of gig workers.